She's been with us all day, but Alyssa's sticking around to talk all things Razorback sports. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, no, it's an exciting time right now.
Right.
It's that time where all our spring sports are starting to get into their postseason. And so softball has waited a couple days to play in the SEC tournament. They play today, 1 o'clock on the SEC network, and they're taking on Missouri, a team that just beat Ole Miss yesterday to advance. And for Arkansas, coming off that series loss to Ole Miss at the end of the regular season, really just got to get some momentum back.
Absolutely.
And you think about last year and the way that they ended. They lost that last regular season. They lost the first game of the SEC tournament, and then they lost to Oregon in the regionals. So they want some momentum. They're not trying to repeat what they did last year.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's the weather looking like? Do you have any idea? Because I feel like this past series, you know, I do the on-field MC work, and the rain really, you know, when you have to be delayed hours and hours and hours, it kind of takes.
Tough.
Yeah, so I'm hoping for good weather.
I really hope so. I think so far in Auburn, Alabama, it's been really pretty, and we're hoping that we can have some nice sun because they will host an NCAA regional again. So we're hoping for that. Another women's sports team that we want to give a shout out to is the women's golf team. How about that? In Las Vegas, winning the regional yesterday to advance to nationals next week in Carlsbad, California. They won their first regional since 2018. It's just the second in program history.
That's huge.
So big shout out to them. And then Kajal Mystery, the senior, tied for first.
Yeah,
so a big win for them. Come back with some hardware, hoping to get more when they go to California.
Speaking of hardware, what are the prospects for our baseball team? What are we looking like, Melissa?
It's good, guys. And I know some people right now are a little freaked out because, the offense is struggling and Colin Fisher is now out for the season and things are happening. But don't hit the panic button. Right? They're home this week for their final home regular season series with Mississippi State. It's going to be a good one. And then they've got to go on the road and play Texas A&M, who, like Arkansas, has spent a lot of time at #1 this season. But there's a lot of baseball left to play.
Yeah.
And then you go to the SEC tournament and play some more before you host a regional here at the end of the month. And so baseball works itself out, and I want people to remember that. And offenses will work itself out. The biggest thing for them is timely hitting. Stop hitting into double plays. Stop it. You're number one in the SEC right now that hits into double plays. Just stop doing that, and you guys will be just fine.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm excited. I mean, I love our baseball team, and it always, when it comes down though to the end of the season, I feel like that's when tension is running high, both from the fans and I'm sure the players feel that too.
And here's the deal with last year's team, it was the pitching, and they were just so depleted on that pitching staff because of injuries and exhaustion. A lot of guys were young. Gage Wood, who was a freshman, a sophomore this year. They have a solid pitching staff that is led by Hagen Smith. That is not the problem. The offense is what we got to get going again. And if they can do that, which is a lot easier to turn around in baseball than to turn around a pitching staff, they're going to be fine.
I love it. What about track?
Okay.
Anything to talk about there?
Well, you know, besides the fact that they're always good and they always win titles, right? It's the SEC championship this weekend in Gainesville. Blech, that's fine. Courtney's not watching, so I can do that. You know, and it's one of those meets where, again, the women and the men are favored like they always are. And for them, you know, the SEC is a stepping stone to win a national title. They win national titles. That's the goal. You know, you go in, and Courtney and I kind of said this. We go into the SEC knowing that these games matter, but it's not what we're here for.
Right.
We're trying to win NCAA. Exactly. We're trying to win NCAA meets and matches and games and all that such. But track is fine. They're always fine. They're always talented. This is what's crazy. We were talking about Paris, and we were on a Zoom call with their assistant coach, Travis Gepfert, for the men's team earlier in the week, and it was like, how many members of all the track teams in the SEC who are competing this weekend, how many will be Olympians? And he was like, I mean, it's wild. You could probably have about 20 to 30 athletes there who could compete in
That is amazing.
That's what's wild.
That is amazing, the level of athleticism. Melissa, thanks for joining us, filling us in on the state of Razorback Athletics. Now you're up to speed on all of that.